UFOs? I think so. Have you ever seen that before? Look, here's another one. Look. Holy shit. You can't even see them on camera. I know. Look at that. You just saw UFOs. Wow.
All right, Shalom. All right, so I'm going to get into this video. It's heavy right now. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is visiting the earth which he made, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. And it's undeniable, you know what I'm saying, if you in the spirit, that you know what's going on. The Lord is coming to redeem his elect, right, and judge America for its crimes, its atrocities, its sin, its wickedness, its evil, right, in the 2/3, right? So visitation is going on right now. And we're going to see things stranger than fiction, if you will. Right? There's going to be things that the mind can't comprehend. All right? And the Chariots always been there to do different things. Right? This is nothing new. We're just waking back up to this reality. Right? So I'm going to get into this heavy video right here. Right? I want you to watch this whole video to the end. Then I'm going to hit a few precepts and I'm going to close it up. Check this out.
UFO hearing on Capitol Hill today, as we just said, the bipartisan push for transparency, certainly decades in the making. The nation watched gripping testimony of UAPs, accusations of a government cover-up, calls for action, and demands for greater transparency on this issue. What are these unidentified objects? Where did they come from? And are we alone? Take a listen. Here are some of the key highlights from that hearing.
Finally, I'd like to thank these three brave witnesses here. They took an oath. They took an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States, and dadgummit, they're doing it. And we owe them a debt of gratitude.
I have experienced advanced UAP firsthand, and I'm here to voice the concerns of more than 30 commercial aircrew and military veterans who have confided their similar encounters with me. Today, I would like to highlight three critical issues that demand our action. As we convene here, UAP are in our airspace, but they are grossly underreported. These sightings are not rare or isolated, they are routine. Military aircrew and commercial pilots, trained observers whose lives depend on accurate identification, are frequently witnessing these phenomena. The stigma attached to UAP is real and powerful and challenges national security. It silences commercial pilots who fear professional repercussions, discourages witnesses, and is only compounded by recent government claims questioning the credibility of eyewitness testimony. Parts of our government are aware of more about UAP than they let on, but excessive classification practices keep crucial information hidden. Since 2021, all UAP videos are classified as secret or above. This level of secrecy not only impedes our understanding, but fuels speculation and mistrust. In 2014, I was an F-18 Foxtrot pilot in the Navy Fighter Attack Squadron 11, the Red Rippers. And I was stationed at NAS Oceana in Virginia Beach. After upgrades were made to our jet's radar systems, we began detecting unknown objects operating in our airspace. At first, we assumed they were radar errors, but soon we began to correlate the radar tracks with multiple onboard sensors, including infrared systems, eventually through visual ID. During a training mission in Warning Area Whiskey 72, 10 miles off the coast of Virginia Beach, two F-18 Super Hornets were split by a UAP. The object, described as a dark gray or a black cube inside of a clear sphere, came within 50 feet of the lead aircraft and was estimated to be 5 to 15 feet in diameter. The mission commander terminated the flight immediately and returned to base. Our squadron submitted a safety report, but there was no official acknowledgement of the incident and no further mechanism to report the sightings. Soon, these encounters became so frequent that aircrew would discuss the risk of UAP as part of their regular pre-flight briefs. The majority of witnesses are commercial pilots at major airlines. Often, they are veterans with decades of flying experience. Pilots are reporting UAP at altitudes that appear above them at 40,000 feet, potentially in low Earth orbit or in the gray zone below the Kármán line, making inexplainable maneuvers like right-hand turns and retrograde orbits or J-hooks. If everyone could see the sensor and video data I witnessed, our national conversation would change. I urge us to put aside stigma and address the security and safety issue this topic represents. If UAP are foreign drones, it is an urgent national security problem. If it is something else, it is an issue for science.
I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, to which I was denied access to those additional read-ons when I requested it. I made the decision, based on the data I collected, to report this information to my superiors and multiple inspectors general, and in effect becoming a whistleblower. As you know, I've suffered retaliation for my decision, but I am hopeful that my actions will ultimately lead to a positive outcome of increased transparency. The controller told us that these objects had been observed for over 2 weeks, coming down from over 80,000 feet, rapidly descending to 20,000 feet, hanging out for hours, and then going straight back up. For those who don't realize, above 80,000 feet is space. We arrived at the location at approximately 20,000 feet, and the controller called merge plot, which means that our radar blip was now in the same resolution cell as the contact. As we looked around, we noticed that we saw some whitewater off our right side. It's important to note that the weather on this day was as close to perfect as you could ask for off the coast of San Diego. Clear skies, light winds, calm seas, no whitecaps from waves, so the whitewater stood out in a large blue ocean. All four of us, because we were in F-18Fs, so we had pilots and Wizzo in the back seat, looked down a small, saw a white tic-tac object with a longitudinal axis pointing north-south and moving very abruptly over the water like a ping-pong ball. There were no rotors, no rotor wash, or any sign of visible control surfaces like wings. As we started clockwise towards the object, my Wizzo and I decided to go down and take a closer look with the other aircraft staying in high cover to observe both us and the tic-tac. We proceeded around the circle about 90 degrees from the start of our descent, and the object suddenly shifted its longitudinal axis, aligned it with my aircraft, and began to climb. We continued down another 270 degrees nose low where the tic-tac, or we continued 270 degrees and we went nose low to where the tic-tac would have been. Our altitude at this point was about 15,000 feet and the tic-tac was about 12,000. As we pulled nose onto the object, within about a half mile of it, it rapidly accelerated in front of us and disappeared. Our wingmen, roughly 8,000 feet above us, lost contact also. We immediately turned back to see where the whitewater was at, and it was gone also. So as we started to turn back towards the east, the controller came up and said, "Sir, you're not going to believe this, but that thing is at your cap point roughly 60 miles away in less than a minute." You can calculate the speed. We returned to Nimitz. We were taking off our gear. We were talking to one of my crews who was getting ready to launch. We mentioned it to him, and they went out and luckily got the video that you see, that 90-second video. What you don't see is the radar tape that was never aware of the active jamming that the object put on an APG-73 radar.
All right, you heard that 60 miles in 1 minute. All right, and that's why, I tend to post a lot of charity videos to, keep you brothers and you sisters encouraged, as a faith booster. But yeah, it's going down. The visitation has begun, and it's just going to intensify. And let me say this, the high-ups of these Edomites, they know exactly what they are, right? This low-level shit that they playing games right now, right? To keep the masses distracted, to keep them in confusion, right? Right, but the high-up Edomites know exactly what they are, and they know exactly what's going on to a certain degree, right? That's why they got something called classified. All right, if they was being transparent, they wouldn't have nothing called classified documents and classified meetings, right? Go to this word classified. So this they don't want the average American to know this, right? It says classified. Salakia. Just looking for something in particular. Let me see. Give me 1 second. All right, right here. It says classified. This is the one I'm looking for. It says of information and documents designated as officially secret and to be which only authorized people may have access. All right, so these devils are hiding a lot of information from these people. All right, the people are completely in darkness, but we're not. But the Lord is doing his visitation on this earth, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's getting ready to go down, right, in a major way. And it is something that's above the understanding of these mere mortals. It says visitation, this heavy. It says the appearance of a divine a supernatural being, right? And there'd be these manifestation of these so-called UFOs, right? But these would be the chariots of Israel, right? They manifesting themselves throughout the earth in all these different places, right? Let's go here. And this ain't nothing new, all right? Zechariah 5:1. It says, then I turned and I lifted up my eyes and I looked and behold a flying roll, a flying roll, all right? So Zechariah was seeing a chariot, right? And this is nothing new. It's just new to the masses of these people. Salaki. 1 second. All right. I'm gonna show you something too. I found this right here was some pretty good information here. You know, get the meat, spit the bones out. They got Jehovah's spaceship, but it's Yahweh spaceships, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. It says, check this out right here. It says, an army and soldiers waiting upon warfare. It says the dimensions of Yahweh's flying military vessel scroll is 30 feet long and 15 feet wide, according to Zechariah. So Zechariah was seeing one of the many different shapes, right, colors, right. The chariots are vast. They come in all different shapes and sizes, right. The one he saw in particular, he described it. It says Zechariah 5:1. Then I turned and raised my eyes, and I saw there a flying scroll, all right. And he said to me, what do you see? And I said, and so I answered, I see a flying scroll. His length is 20 cubits and his width 10 cubits. Right. So they did the math. It comes out to the one that Zechariah saw was 30 feet long and 15 feet wide. Right. But you know, in Ezekiel, right here, it says Yahweh spaceship. Right. So these in Ezekiel, that was in Ezekiel chapter 1. You can read up on that. But he was dealing with a chariot, right? It gets deep, right? And that's why the slaves was singing that swing low, all right, sweet chariots, you know, come take us home. Because they knew about the so-called UFOs, the chariots, our people, before they got lost and all bugged out. 2 Kings 2:12. It says, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, all right, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his clothes and rent them into pieces, into two pieces, right? So the chariot beamed up Elijah, right? Let me see if I can. Salakia. 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, this 2 Kings 2:11. And it came to pass as they still went on and talked that, behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. He got beamed up on that chariot. Right, that's how we're going to get delivered up out of here. And these is heavy because these chariots come in all different, you know, forms, shapes, sizes, colors. The right colors that we even never even saw before. Look at this, right? You can just imagine the things to come. It's going to be mind-boggling, right? And the Lord is getting ready to crank up his visitation on his earth. He's getting busy on all levels, right? Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, right? Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Call Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Rachak Wadash. Shalom.